Have you ever wondered which countries in Europe pay the most and which ones pay the least? In this video we will talk about salaries in Europe and compare them. But we'll not just talk about gross salary, so-called brutto one. We'll compare what actually people take home and how far that money actually gets you in each country. Because earning 4,000 euros in Switzerland is not the same as earning 4,000 in Romania. And even brutto looks the same, your net salary and cost of living can actually make a big difference. And let's start with top 5 highest salaries. And on number 5 we have Germany. Germany is Europe's economic engine. It's home to one of the largest car manufacturers, financial firms and many other companies. And the average gross salary in Germany is 4,100 euros. But once you pay income tax, social contributions, and after all of these taxes, you're left with around 2,700 euros. That's about 35% difference between brutto and net salaries. Taxes in Germany are progressive, and singles pay more than married couples. But the trade-off is quite good because you get well infrastructure, good education, robust healthcare, and strong worker protections. But there's also big regional differences. For example, in such parts of Germany as Bavaria, wages is quite higher than in other parts of the Germany. For example, someone working in Munich can make up to 30% more than the same person doing the same job but working in Stuttgart. And now let's move to the next country, which is Sweden. Sweden have quite a good economy built on innovations, technology and big industrial giants like Volvo, Ericsson or IKEA. And the average gross salary in Sweden is about 4,400 euros per month. And after all of the taxes, Swedes take home around 2,800 euros netto. And the taxes can actually reach up to 50% for high earners, but in return citizens get access to world-class healthcare, education and social welfare. Sweden also offers excellent parental leave policies, which attracts a lot of families and immigrants. But the cost of living in big cities like Stockholm or Malmö is rising really quickly, especially rent and food. So while 2,800 sounds great, your lifestyle heavily depends on where you live and how much you earn. And on number 3 we have Denmark. And Denmark is often marked as the happiest country in the world. And that happiness comes from high living standards and of course higher taxes. And the average gross salary in Denmark is 5,000 euros, while the net salary after all of the taxes is around 3,000 euros. And that's roughly 40% tax burden. And Danish people are paying one of the most highest taxes in whole of the Europe. But again, they get a lot of in return. Universal healthcare, top-tier education, subsidized childcare, and high level of trust in public services. And income gap between jobs isn't that wide. For example, a school teacher and IT specialist may not earn that differently, especially after taxes. And this creates a society with quite low social inequality. And on the second place we have Luxembourg. And Luxembourg is quite tiny country, but has one of the most highest GDP per capita. The finance sector, European institutions make it a magnet for skilled workers. And average gross salary in Luxembourg is 5,500 per month. And after all of the taxes, you will get around 3,800 euros. And what is interesting that many people don't even live in Luxembourg but work there, and they commute from neighboring countries, France, Germany or Belgium. And despite its size, Luxembourg among the best places to work in Europe. And as you might guess, the number 1 is Switzerland. Yes, this country isn't in European Union, but it's right in the middle of Europe and its wages in a league of their own. So the average gross salary in Switzerland is 6,800 euros per month. And after deductions, people usually take home around 5,500 euros netto. And so far this is the highest net salary in Europe, even though cost of living is actually very expensive, especially in big cities like Zurich or Geneva. And let's talk a bit about why taxes in Switzerland are so low if you compare it to other neighboring countries like Austria or Germany. And one of the reasons is because responsibilities like healthcare or pensions are private concerns, or they're decentralized to the regional level. But even after paying out of pocket for healthcare, workers still have one of the most highest disposable incomes in the world. Alright, but now let's look at the bottom of our list. And this is top 5 lowest salaries in Europe. On number 5 we have Latvia. Latvia is a Baltic country that has made big progress in joining European Union, but their salaries are still low if you compare to other European Western standards. And the average gross salary in Latvia is 1,300 euros, while the net salary is around 1,900 euros. Their taxes are quite low, around 20 to 30%, but in most of the sectors of the economy, wages are still low. However, their capital, Riga, is slowly turning into a digital IT hub, and some of the skilled workers working in this sector earning far above the national average. Their living costs are also lower, but many Latvians still seek jobs in other European countries. And on number 4 we got Bulgaria, and Bulgaria has one of the lowest labor costs in European Union. So the average gross salary in Bulgaria is 1,200 euros, and the net salaries are around 900 euros. Bulgaria uses flat income rate, which is 10%. That's the lowest in European Union. But that doesn't mean that workers earn more. It just means that deductions from the income are minimal. And after joining European Union, foreign investments in the economy are increasing, but the average citizen haven't felt the whole benefit yet. And the next one is Romania. Romania has made big improvements in digital transformation, and their capital Bucharest is becoming tech outsourcing center, but their wages are still catching up. The average gross salary in Romania is 1,100 euros, and the net salary is around 800 to 900 euros. And like Bulgaria, Romania uses the same flat rate system, and there is additional 25% for social contributions. But Romania also have advantage of low cost of living, and many Romanians work remotely. They enjoy better living standards than their Westerns. And the number 1 is Albania. Albania is not in the European Union, and its economy mostly consists of agriculture sector and services. So the average gross salary in Albania is 600 euros, and the net salary is around 500 euros. Income taxes can be up to 50%, and many Albanians move abroad, especially to Italy or Greece. And despite its stunning nature, the country struggles with youth immigration and limited economic growth. And the number 1 is Ukraine. Ukraine has been devastated by the war, but even before the conflict, the wages were still low. The average gross salary is 450 euros, and the net salary is roughly 300 to 400 euros. And that's more than 50 times less than the average net salary in Switzerland. And a lot of Ukrainians who emigrated in Europe recently, they send their money back home. And while parts of Ukraine have a strong IT sector, especially in big cities like Lvov or Kiev, most of the population earns very modest wages. So after figuring all this out, the net salary is often more important than gross one, because two countries can have similar brutto figures, but if one takes 25% and the other one takes up to 50% of your income, your lifestyle can be very different. So please tell me in the comments, where would you prefer to live? And if you're living in any of these countries, I would like to hear your opinion about that, whether true or not, and how much do you earn in your country. And if you enjoyed this video, make sure to put the like button, subscribe to my channel, and check out other videos about money, salaries and wages. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next one.